video right here is going to be a little bit of a first reaction, pretty much to all the significant stuff that was going around, not necessarily in the world of a sports world, but it's kind of a little bit of a promotional thing. Like, I am doing this at 8:41 on the dot as I do this video. It shoots to the actual fact of this past weekend with the possibility that Penn State could very well, with the whole full-blown fledged of heart, that Terry Smith, the interim head coach, would very much, and pretty much as of this second, is probably going to be the next head coach for Penn State. Now, as I do this video, they just recently won games against Michigan State, and they just beat a very good Nebraska team this past weekend on Senior Day. And even Matt Rule who's the head coach of Nebraska, was a candidate. They'll play Rutgers next Saturday, probably going to win that game as well. And a very, very minuscule opportunity for Penn State to get a bowl game. Probably won't happen. If it doesn't, I'm not worried about it. But it's a possibility with the way the Big Ten records are. I'm going to venture for Terry Smith to probably be given this opportunity, for the actual reason that there are no major huge names for coaching candidacy. The only one that really comes to mind as of this second is Lane Kiffin, because he's getting offers left and right to get out of Ole Miss, to get out of Oxford. But I don't see him leaving Ole Miss. He'll probably end up staying another 5-6 years and getting the money from the SEC, and especially Ole Miss. There is no other major candidate. Pat Kraft, the athletic director, he immediately said he wants a big name, but there is none. There is none. I don't even expect him to grab anybody from the NFL. The only major coaching candidates that were even out there besides Lane Kiffin is probably Mike McCarthy, and he's unemployed. And probably maybe a couple others like Robert Saleh from the 49ers, and maybe a couple others that nobody even knows of. There are no major names, and Pat Kraft wants a big name to take Penn State to that next level. Well, Penn State, as of right now, is not an Ohio State. It's not an Alabama, a Clemson, a Florida State, an Oregon, a Tennessee, a Texas, an Oklahoma. They're not that major of a name, but it's a top 10 job in the nation. But do you believe your theory and your coaching theory and your coaching presence is enough to turn something around? This year has been an absolute tire fire, where Penn State and Texas in the beginning of the year, back in the summertime, were penciled for the national championship game. It would have been Drew Aller versus Arch Manning, and Texas has been on and off this year, and Penn State just had 3 horrible losses. I can't even say 3 horrible. Oregon was a good loss, even though it was a heartbreaker for the whiteout, but that was a good game. But when you go to UCLA, who is near the bottom of FBS, and you let that Nico quarterback, whoever he is, who held out, remember him, decided to play Brady ball and throw 400-plus yards against them, and they only got 25,000 in that game. They only get 25,000 in the Rose Bowl. And you let UCLA beat you, and then the following week, you have homecoming, and you lose to Northwestern, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and Pat Kraft said that's enough. That was enough for James Franklin to be gone and Terry Smith taken over. We now realize that Terry Smith is in fact part of that James Franklin coaching tree. He has all that influence from James Franklin. Now, Franklin has recently took the job at the University of Virginia Tech. He's also pretty much, if you go and look on all the views on Facebook and Instagram, all the decommits from Penn State are all James Franklin's players. They're all, most of them, 90% of them, are going to Blacksburg to play for James Franklin. It's going to be taking a while for Virginia Tech to be relevant. They were, Virginia Tech is always going to be a presence in the ACC. They're not Clemson, but they're right up there. It's rough that Virginia is better than Virginia Tech this year. But James Franklin, the buyout is no longer $49 million; it's now only $9 million, and all that money now can go toward whatever for Virginia Tech, or if that even goes that direction. But Terry Smith is a huge influence in that locker room. Learned everything off of James Franklin's theories, but obviously a lot of people get on James Franklin for many things: decision making, play calling. They don't consider James Franklin an offensive or defensive guy. He's a player's coach, and he always has been. He's admitted it. I will always vouch for James Franklin, and I wish him well in Virginia Tech. He's going to do fine. Terry Smith, on the other hand, he's played hard in the games that even they lost. They went to Iowa and lost. They played a good half against Ohio State, then got steamrolled. It is until they played Michigan State and they woke up, and then they played a very good, like I said, a very good Nebraska team with Matt Rule as their head coach. But I believe deep down, Drunkenmeyer is still going to be their quarterback, and he had a very good game yesterday. I think they may have got their guy. Drew Aller, nobody ever wishes injury to anybody, but Aller got injured in that game, against Northwestern. I believe it was Northwest. Yeah, it was the Northwestern game where they were just trying to come back, and he had the ankle injury. Drew Aller, I don't know what his draft stock's going to be. He's got to get 100% before pro day, but nobody ever wishes that on anybody. But Drunkenmeyer, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people, and still a lot of players, and even a lot of people that are going to recognize that Drunkenmeyer is actually a pretty good quarterback, and he's had a couple good games. Even in the losses against Ohio State and Iowa, Drunkenmeyer has actually done fairly well. And you got two good running backs, and everyone saw Katron Allen break the school rushing record. So I just think Terry Smith, I just don't think there's another good hire. I don't think there's another big name. I would give Terry Smith the job now. I would give Terry Smith, he has to actually go through the actual, process of sit in a room with Pat Kraft and a handful of others, drinking tea out of whatever, I don't know. But it's like Pat Kraft's going to ask him, why should I give you the job now? And Terry Smith is a Penn State grad. He has a great story about his parents moving from Aliquippa to Monroeville, and he just bleeds Penn State Nittany Lion blue and gold. But he just is a Penn Stater through and through. He has an absolute amazing work ethic for Terry Smith, and there's no question Terry would go out and get his people. And right now, the way it's going, you win a couple games at the end of the season, you boost that confidence level, and then you have a chance for, I look at next year's schedule, it's garbage. They get Marshall, Temple, and Buffalo. They don't have Ohio State for the next 2 years. It's just the way the Big Ten has gone. They will have to play at Michigan. They will have to have Michigan the following year. They get Syracuse, and they'll have to go to Oregon in 2027. What I would do, and I'll wind this down, I would just go and try to do your best in the recruit level. I would get whoever you could, even if it is 3 stars. You get a couple 4s, great. But get who you can. Get people who want to play. I wouldn't even worry about next year. I would make next year the hardcore rebuild for Penn State. Go through the transfer portal, go through NIL, get who you can, get who you can muster, have them play out the season, and then just be ready for 2027. I think Terry Smith should just get the job now. Things are looking up right now. Now it's coming up to fall. Basketball we're not worried about, but the hockey team's going to be good. The wrestling teams might win another title. The volleyball teams are good. Penn State, I would start now. Give Terry Smith the job now. Why push yourself? Why give yourself more of a headache, Pat Kraft? It's time, take the Band-Aid off and give Terry Smith the job. We are Penn State. There's a lot of people I know that hate Penn State with a passion. But Terry Smith, give him the job.